Hello and welcome back. I'm assuming you're here because of the video title, which is a Fablehaven review. This video is part 2 in a little 2-part series that I'm doing called... it doesn't have a name. My last video was a predictions video, so I told you what Fablehaven was about without reading it. So if you're interested in watching that, which I would recommend if you have not read this book yet, there are no spoilers in that video. Well, there are a few spoilers, but you won't know which spoilers are actually spoilers. I also recommend it if you have read this book because you will probably get a kick out of it because it's pretty ridiculous. So now this is going to be an actual review. I need to clarify that again. Let us begin. Fablehaven. An actual review. Okay, so on the cover we have, this is a witch, and it is a woman. She was actually a witch. I was a little wrong about the rope. The reason that she has the rope is because it's trapping her with a magical spell. She is obsessed with it though, but she doesn't think it's a snake. She's very well aware that it is a rope, and the knots in it are keeping her powers at bay, because she's kind of evil. And this window is the Ivy Shack. Although there's still no ivy on it, and I'm still not really okay with that. I feel like they should have put a little bit of ivy on the Ivy Shack. Just a little bit. Haunted Mansion is usually not haunted. It was haunted one night. For the most part, not haunted. I'm gonna read through the contents again. Chapter 1 was a mandatory vacation. So the mandatory vacation was not for the witch lady, it was for the kids, Kendra and Seth, whose parents were going on a Scandinavian cruise. So they went on a mandatory vacation to Fablehaven, but they didn't know it yet. They just thought it was an exotic animal farm. Chapter 2 was collecting clues. I think they were like taking some keys and unlocking the bellies of horses, and chocolate would fall from the horses' bellies. You only get it if you read the book. Chapter 3 was the Ivy Shack. This was actually the Ivy Shack. Obviously. There's no ivy on it still. Even after the 1,000 times that I've said it, no ivy has appeared on the front of this book. What gives? But the witch did live in the Ivy Shack. It was literally covered in ivy. What gives? Chapter 4 was the Hidden Pond. Chapter 5, Journal of Secrets. That journal literally had one secret in it. When Kendra found this, I kind of like half expected it to start talking to her like, I'm Tom Riddle. Maybe they should remove the plural form there. Chapter 6, Maddox. Oh, he's a fairy dealer. He wasn't raining from the sky. Chapter 7, Prisoner in a Jar. Not a goldfish, a fairy. Chapter 8, Retaliation, where the fairies strike back, not the snake rope. Chapter 9, Hugo. Okay, so this is a different Hugo from the movie Hugo. Chapter 10 was Midsummer Eve. I wish they would have been so sophisticated as to have Shakespeare in the lawn, but they did not. There were some other things happening, like haunting and babies on roofs. Chapter 11, Aftermath. No math was done on Midsummer Eve, let me just say. Oh yeah, that was where they found the caretaker on the lawn turned into a pencil. Chapter 12, Inside the Barn. There was a cow. I called it. And I feel like I heard something about a goat sometime in the story too. Chapter 13, An Unexpected Message. Boy, was it unexpected. What was that again? Oh, the chicken grandma. Grandma chicken. Grandma who was a chicken. Chicken who was a grandma at one point. Wrote a message. Chapter 14, Trolling for Grandpa. That was a weird chapter. They went and they found a troll. And they gave him a massage. Chapter 15, The Far Side of the Attic. Chapter 16, The Forgotten Chapel. The demon didn't forget about it. A Desperate Gamble. Okay, so this sort of gambling that happened where Kendra went to the fairy island and risked turning into dandelion seeds. That is the kind of gambling I approve of. They should put that kind of game in casinos, although then they'd have a big dandelion problem. Chapter 18, Bahumat. I still can't pronounce that. Bahumat. If you say it fast enough, no one can correct you fast enough. I had a lot of trouble picturing a dragon with 3 legs and 3 arms. So like, I ended up kind of picturing this thing that just had like a row of arms and feet down its stomach, and then it just kind of like rolled along. Chapter 19, Farewell to Fablehaven. It was too soon to say goodbye. That's all I have to say about that chapter. Acknowledgements. So the acknowledgements, turns out, are the author's acknowledgements. So, and that's just about everything that happened in Fablehaven, Book 1. I liked this book a lot more than I thought I was going to, because it's like a kid's book, but it's one of those kids' books that literally any age can read and be entertained by. Kendra and Seth are like so sarcastic and such rule breakers. Like when they're faced with a choice between should we do it, risk dying, or should we not do it, they always chose to risk their lives. You never ever see that in a character. But it made it a very different kind of story. And the whole thing was creative. Like, it surprised me the whole way through. Definitely recommend it. Of course, the only people who are watching this right now are the people who have already read it, so. Thought that one through pretty well, didn't I? Okay, that's all. And that's the conclusion to our 2-part series. Wasn't that fun? I'm not gonna ask you to subscribe because I know you're all very rebellious, and if I asked you, you would have been like, well, I was going to, but now that you asked, I'm not gonna. So, if you feel so inclined, and also, I hope this did something for your lives. Goodbye.